Good afternoon, everybody. Within the business day, we are glad to have with us Joan Jubert. Joan Jubert is a business consultant who has been working for 20 years, managing important commodities companies, always achieving important challenges as well as improving customers' experience. Joan has been always doing business, selling business and sharing business ideas and concepts with customers and partners. In the last years, his main goal has been to help other businessmen to rethink their companies in order to put value on their strengths, questioning the business in order to find out new lines of working and take advantage of his experience and forward-looking approach to grow and improve their results. Joan Jubert's main values are objectives, simplicity, customer centeredness, innovation, people makes the difference, and think bigger. So without much delay, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Joan Jubert.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm very glad to have the opportunity of sharing my point of view about the changes that we have to implement, in fact, in order to survive in this world. I'm referring to the new entrepreneurship culture and the radical change in the relationship with the stakeholders as a great opportunity. I've been for a long time working as a general manager in companies related to the mass market. And nowadays I'm helping managers and companies to rethink the business and the management model. In order to get different results, doing different things, and always bearing in mind that, and that's important, we need the world, but the world doesn't need us. It's very important just to be in the right side. The key word is differentiation. That's our goal. But I have to say and consider that it's a commodity word, though everybody who is involved in business knows the meaning of this word. But do we really practice a real differentiation? My view on that is that there's a very big gap between what we know, what we do, and what is needed. We have to differentiate, first of all, because the competitive advantages are not sustainable in time. And furthermore, because nowadays to get a real strong differentiation is not an easy thing to achieve. That's why to work in this line. However, despite that, life is plenty of opportunities. Plenty of opportunities. Though it's heavy, it's hard, plenty. Because more than 50% of the products and services that will need our society in the next future, and the future starts tomorrow, need to be created and invented. That's a positive thing. Everything is to be done till now. The message of my talk tries to focus on the key points which can be summarized in you and the others. You, because most of the managers live in a comfortable area and there are wrong diagnoses of the reality. And the others are the served customer, always the served customer, and our staff, our partners. The served customer must be the goal and the focus of the whole company because it's who really pays our fees and our salaries. And our staff, though they are employees, but in fact they must be partners and the actors of the first and probably the most important differentiation. Our people must be the first differentiation of our project and business. Innovation should start by questioning the assumed facts. Individuals, corporative, company, market, business model, and especially the relationship between the stakeholders of the business model. It's very important to see and perceive the reality. with the goal, obviously, to step forward, giving more value, but always on the premise that the customer will perceive and will want to pay for it, if it's the case, because if not, will be just an invention or just nothing. Value for the customer. The barriers, obviously there's a lot of barriers. Nowadays we have plenty of barriers, but I'd like to point out the first one. And the first one is ourselves, our ideas, our framework. It's much more difficult to erase the former exciting ideas than to incorporate, to introduce, to implement, to believe in new ones. It's difficult to erase our experience, but in order to innovate is what we have to do. The second one is the habitual practices following the sector's referent, doing the same things maybe a little bit more efficiently, but focus on the same customer and looking at the world with the same lens. If we do the same, for sure, probably we will get the same. Working and building strategies with the Red Oceans framework. My only goal in this speech is to shake your preconceived ideas, to see the world through a different lens. You know that we are what we read, what we eat, what we study, the result of success, failures, exciting experiences. That's why for us it's so difficult to change and to accept new ideas, new ways of acting, new ways of relationship, and finally to get out in order to step forward, because we have to go to break in order to step forward. With the aim of breaking through our framework, we have to start to understand that the world is open. The world is open. To see the organization as a whole, and especially to be open-minded, to understand that the solutions of the past are not useful anymore. Usually when I go to the companies, in many cases, the managers tell me about the commodity market, commodity product. That's not true. The only thing it's commodity are your neurons, your ideas. I'll tell you a simple example. I live in a textile cluster. I've grown up within this context where our families have lived thanks to the textile industry. Since I was a child, I've always heard that the textile had been in crisis for decades. My town is in this country, in Catalonia, and Catalonia has had the leadership of this sector, the textile. What about now? Well, the sector is slowly declining its weight, and most of the companies, or some of them at least, are going into bankruptcy or disappearing, till the fact that nowadays the cluster is slowly disappearing. But while this tendency was shaking the power, at the same time, two fantastic projects were growing up very fast and successfully. Inditex and Mango. Inditex, the leadership in the world. In 1977 with one outlet, now with more than 5,000. Another Spanish one, Mango, nowadays with 2,000 outlets. And some other companies that are following this strategy are growing very fast. How can we understand this contradiction? According to the papers, the textile industry has been always in crisis and reducing the number of people in the activity, and that's not true. What's in crisis are the ideas, the offer to the customer. The offer to the customer, managers who are putting in practice the same model they learned 20 years ago, with no space for change, and furthermore because they haven't known how to adapt to the actual reality. Therefore, at the same time, small companies are emerging, gaining market share, money. And what's more important, falling in love with the customers because of their extraordinary value. And the answer to these facts are new business model, new ideas, new managers, new model of management, new culture, new values, and the third customer at the center of the whole system. The third customer at the center of the whole system. If the world's changed, it means that the market rules is changing as well. We have to understand. Going back to basics, it means to focus on the third customer. The customer must be the only aim of the whole company. And the magic word is empathy. Empathy is the right word, and so difficult to put in practice. Empathy. The customer is the focus. The staff are not employees, are employees, but they haven't. They must be partners. They must be sellers. Everybody must be a seller in your project or in your company. The goal is to make the customer live an experience working with us. When I usually start interviewing a candidate, I usually ask them, do you work or achieve? It's not the same. The presence is the same in the company, but the goal is not the same. Do you work or do you achieve? Globalization. The world is continuously changing very fast, and if you can see it, we will lose the chance. We will lose the chance because each individual change always implies opportunities. Nevertheless, these opportunities will take place if you are looking at the world with a will and attitude that it's needed, getting advantages in terms of value for your customers and time for you and your project, because time is strategic as well. Time is money. Look outside, look inside. You will always get the answers in the street, in the market, not in the office, at your office, in the street. If we project our business from our preconceived ideas, we will see the market out of focus. The magical word another time is empathy. Empathy. Long-term project is a key value and gives us the chance to share, to build with our partners. And I think it's useful to bear in mind Mr. Drucker's sentences. And it's very important because give different values. Our goal is not to make money. Our goal is to get customers. It's absolutely different, the way you get to your goal. Our goal is not to make money, it's to get customers. Low-cost tendency. For sure, now we are in crisis. But before the crisis, the low-cost tendency already existed. It's necessary to introduce this concept in our strategy, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to reduce the prices. No. The solution always comes from the customer's perception of value. If you don't listen to the customers, you won't know anything about the value, about their perception. Defending the job. An employee is not only, obviously, it's not only working for the salary. They must work to defend their job. Giving it more value because of globalization, because of the processes. Nowadays, everybody has competitors. The company, the professional, an employee, maybe has a competitor in Asia, since they are specialized in one specific process or sector. That's why the values and the relationship need to be changed so as to be more powerful in the market. However, we will only achieve this if the work is aligned with the global goals. The fact is, everybody, every actor in your company has a competitor. Not only the product, not the company, everybody. That's why we have to change everybody as well. Obviously, starting by the managers. The number one always has to be the first change, always. Technology as a management tool. We have to invest in technology not just because it's fashionable, but because it's aligned with our strategy or it helps to exercise our responsibility more efficiently. The internet. The present is already on internet. The present is already in internet. It's a great opportunity, but only if it's part of our strategy, considering the relationship between the stakeholders and the great value of customers' orientation. Most of the companies already live in the 1.0 model, though nowadays we are working 2.0 or are heading in the 3.0. What are some companies, so many companies in the Stone Age? What they are doing? Working or achieving? Working or achieving? Well, as I said before, the first barrier in order to innovate, in order to change, to go further, to step forward, ourselves. Because of our experiences, our models, our success, all these items constrain and limit our progression and block our capacity of looking further. Our history blocked the possibility to looking further. The history is plenty of great examples. IBM was the leader. When I started working, there was only one brand, IBM. IBM was computer, nothing else. They were unable, though in the company was plenty of talent, knowledge, they were unable to understand the opportunity of microcomputing. Recently, Microsoft versus Google, old-fashioned textile model versus Inditex, Amazon versus bookshops and publishing houses, EasyJet versus Flag Nation Airlines companies. Why it's so difficult for the established companies to reinvent, to rethink, to step forward? Clear. The first item, it's simple. Our comfort zone. We like to be comfortable. And that's true, it's so marvelous, to go to work every day, always knowing the answers. It's fantastic. You start working, you always know all the answers. But nowadays, we are living in a crash, and using an analogy, I would say that when it seemed that we had learned the answers, someone has changed the questions. Means we have to start again. Well, secondly, obviously, is our speed of change. Probably most of us were doing a lot of things, trying to change, but a strategic item is the speed. Not if you are doing changes or not, the speed. And probably we do it, but the pace we take is probably lower than required or needed in order to maintain the sustainability of our market's position. In other words, we're losing weight, we start living from rents and starting our decline. That's reality. What do we have to do? Well, get out from hierarchy model, consider new ways of relationship with the stakeholders, it's very important, of your company or project. Find new blue oceans, but not only related to the served customer, but specifically to your staff, and let fresh air into your management. Fresh air, always fresh air. And I strongly recommend, bear in mind a phrase that I like very much. I think it's very strong. Even though nothing changes, if you change, everything changes. Well, if we have to do so many things, where? Well, first of all, where? With ourselves. Though we have to do so many things, like here, but first of all, ourselves. We have to innovate in ourselves, our ideas, our positioning, because later we will have to lead this new way. But well, considering the different items, the continuous improvement process, well, it's the minimum we can do. The minimum, in order to survive, in order at least to be competitive in the same red ocean market. That we have to launch new product or service or solutions, for sure. That's our culture. That's our culture. That's what we've learned for decades. We know and we've learned that it's necessary to launch new products, services, because we lived in the culture of product. And I think we are doing quite well, probably, because it has been the core management system, but probably far away from the customer point of view. Probably far away. Excellence, there's another item where we can start working. Excellence in the relationship with customers. That's a great opportunity. That's a great opportunity. Though we have mediocre products, we have a great opportunity to have an excellent relationship with our customers, real or potential. When the manager really believes that the main asset of the companies are the customers, and that their goal is to surpass their expectations, they will really start changing the whole company in order to consider the customer as the center of everything and everybody. It's a very important change in our organizations. The customer is not in the center of anything. It's just a number. And obviously, new business model, for sure. In our Occidental society, in Europe, in Spain, Catalonia, that's our main weakness. In fact, it's the result of misunderstanding of what happens in the world from the strategic point of view. Nevertheless, our weakness is especially related to the lack of imagination for creating new relationships between the stakeholders. We have to see the business, the project as a whole, with all the stakeholders, which are the role of each stakeholder. And the lack of will to put into practice the philosophy of open innovation. Open innovation means alliances with some other people that may help us to introduce and to create something new, something that goes further or a step forward. You know that in strategy, to assign the resources is always a strategic decision. And when you analyze the market, the result is that many established companies devote small efforts in marketing and innovation. Many people start working a lot. They know the product a lot. But they invest a lot of money in innovation and marketing. And you have to consider marketing is the whole company. To create, to deliver the promotion, the customer objective. That's the whole marketing, not only promotions. Marketing as a whole is the real project of a company. In order to understand the purpose of this phrase, I'd like you to consider these three ideas. It's not a battle of product, but perceptions. The perception is very important. The second one, the reality is the perception of the other, the customer, real or potential. And what's not communicated, that it doesn't exist. We have to have in mind all these items in order to step forward. The idiom Spanish phrase, white coffee for everybody, is an old-fashioned concept. Nowadays, concepts like personalization means that we have the opportunity to offer solutions. We can offer product or service. We have to have other solutions. As I said before, the world doesn't need us, but we really need the world. And if we believe in that, it means that we have to work hard in order to generate more than good perceptions, even before having had the chance of tasting and selling the product. That means strategic customer orientation, strategic communication, market active listening, alignment, holistic vision, and everybody are sellers. In our company, in our project, everybody must be sellers. To communicate our value to whom? To our customer. It's the only who pays the fees, the invoices, the only. Mr. Customer. The new paradigm. from my point of view, the new organization have to be very different. We should introduce less hierarchy, more autonomy, more community, more recognition, more communication, more technology, more time to think and listen, more time to think and listen, more vision, roadmap and strategic goals, more ethic, more social capital. Nowadays the network is very important. That's the social capital, our network of contacts, because are strategic for our business, our projects. And new values, obviously. Mr. Drakas was clear. The goal of our companies is not to make money, it's to get customers. If you share this point of view, the new paradigm is the others, our staff, the served customer. I strongly believe the quality is surpassing the customer's expectations. It's a step forward to the traditional sense, and to make it possible, the alignment of is needed, the alignment of your staff is needed. The staff must be the first differentiation, with the goal of being excellent, offering a continuous experience to the customer. Nowadays, we have organizations demanding for discipline, rigor, following the procedures, work well done, and so on, even presence. But in fact, what we really need is creativity, passion, proactivity, spirit of initiative. Do you think we're doing that? Can we buy these values? Can we buy? Can we pay for them? Can you order your staff to come tomorrow to work with plenty of passion for overnight? Please, tomorrow, passion. For sure not. We have to do something before. We can do it, but we won't get it, obviously. This is, for sure cannot. The first answer, from my point of view, is very simple. You have to change. You have to change. Before demanding that, you have to change. Because the world is led by example, only by example. Not by orders, by hierarchy, by the example. Furthermore, we should work so as to introduce some other values, obviously. Result-oriented, autonomy, recognition, emotional salary. Emotional salary. We both receive always rational euro salary and emotional one. We have to give them emotional salary as well. And real team working, obviously, and real customer-oriented. And in this point of view, one of the strategic processes must be the recruitment one, in order to engage. Our goal is not to recruit, to engage. That's a strategic item as well, to engage people, not to recruit. The right people for the right job aligned with the new culture. Besides, I would add that the most essential skill must be the one's attitude, because without the right attitude, it's not possible to step forward. The served customer. Before, the world was unidirectional, and the aim was to hunt for customers trying to achieve a different position market from competitors. But with internet revolution, the increasing weight of social media, the mobile phones, globalization, etc., customers are better informed to make more accurate decisions and force the brands, the companies, to change towards what they want or need. Within this context, many companies treat the served customer as if they were competitors, while they only want us to speak their language and without formalism. And this simple concept is just the opposite of what we do now. Ordinary companies or products, and forgettable one, promote experience. That's our goal. we cannot sell products or services. If we are doing that, forget. You don't have any future at all. At all. You will have future if in your process you are doing things better. Well, it allows you to survive a little bit more. That's our goal, to promote experiences, not only about product, but in the relationship with our customers as well, not only in the product, to get confidence with us. That's our goal. Nowadays, just having a developing product or services, instead of going a step forward, we're going backwards. If we are customer-oriented, we need to offer solutions, personal solutions. And working with this philosophy, you have to empathize, magic word, with the individual, offering value for them. This way of thinking implies to focus a new approach to the customer, offering things like personalization, exceptional personal relationship, excellent professional work, not good, excellent. To feel good, relaxed, comfortable, experiment new things, sensations, something unusual, tools, etc. Going to the extreme, attention, we could say that the less important is the product or service. Please don't take it literally, but consider it. And you will see that there are some examples in life close to us. Just my micro examples. Well, there's a North American photographer called Joe Basic. In fact, he doesn't make pictures, photos. He cooks emotions. He says he cooks emotions. I mean, he must understand the customer in order to express the idea. Patricia Ribalzaga, baker, she offers haute couture cakes. Ricard Thomas, a friend of mine, taxi driver, that offers an internet experience while traveling. I'm talking about small micro innovations.